Good, welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe edition. Just going to get right back into it. It's been a short while since I last played it, but we did kind of end it off in the middle of a point last time. So we're going to look and see what this has in store for us. We didn't actually surpass the place where I got up to when I tried to record this the first time.
Story of a man named Stanley.
We've seen this, we'll just skip this. I should probably actually check how loud the audio is before I continue. Because I know that the first time I knocked it way too far down and caused problems for myself. Okay. So I like that we have the corridor, like right in front of the door, we have the corridor that we would have had we started off in a normal thing.
Psst. Stanley, come over here, in the vent.
That's never something you want to hear. I see, last time I went that way, so I'm kind of tempted to not go that way, so that you can get a more authentic reaction. You know, I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. I'm going this way.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Oh, well, that's just a bit rude, really. Does this just go back to...
When Stanley came to a set
I didn't know it would...
doors, he entered the door on his left.
I didn't know... Alright, okay, I'm going to actually quit to the main menu, because I didn't know it would just kind of go back to normality. Hey, here we are. So, right, let's do it this time.
Stanley, come over here, in the vent. I want to show you something.
What is it? Mr. Narrator man. Bring me a story. Make it the cutest that I've ever seen. A lot of loading screens so far. Half this episode's just been loading screen. The end is never, 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 the end is never.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
I mean,
it got me thinking about the past.
That was jumping.
And how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So
Ooh.
I made something special. And
This is
tucked it
so
away
cool. This looks
here
like something
where
out of
games
Skyrim.
Developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Like it was still office stuff, but it's like this ancient looking stone open way. It does look like Skyrim. Open way, that's not even a word. Entrance way. I haven't played Skyrim in too long.
I call it the memory zone.
Very
It's where
imaginative.
I've been
It's
storing all my favorite memories,
the zone where you
so
keep
I
your
can
memories
relive
is the
peak
memory zone.
Experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
The memory zone? Is there a baby in here? Better not be. It's an elephant. I wonder if there's a significance to the elephant. Also, I was going to say, is the baby the original Stanley Parable? Because it will never be forgotten, because it's in the memory zone.
Doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley
The
Parable
original
was
ending.
before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
To The Last of Us. Oh yeah, The Last of Us came out the same year as this. Well, not this, but the Stanley Parable. It feels so weird to think The Last of Us was 9 years ago. Yes, it's 2022. What is that one? I remember. Oh yeah, all the they don't say steam anywhere. They say pressurized gas. Because I'm guessing they don't have the I would say like the rights, but it's just talking about Steam. I suppose, yeah, it might be like an advertisement saying like, buy it on Steam, buy the original one on Steam. Is that my millionth dollar? Nominated. Oh, that's the other ending that we got, where we went crazy and died. I spent too long looking at all of these the first time I played, so I'm just going to kind of race around it. I'm disappointed we can't go to the bench, just because there's some flowers in the way. I really hope that isn't copyrighted.
Is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Just the
like
one?
This stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
It wasn't an hour. It was like a minute, 2 minutes. That makes no sense to me. I don't know what that is. Unless it's... No, I don't know. Got another review over there on the wall.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in
Nothing in
games,
the bad section.
and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It
Beautiful
didn't
copy
need
textures.
new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that.
The
Couldn't
Source
resist
Engine.
the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Serious room. We can't go in there. I want to be in the serious room. Oh, the red and the blue doors. We need to do that ending. At some point before the series goes. This series
These
finishes.
were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no.
It's a bit cloudier.
No, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Can't open the door.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, bad review.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humour and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
The broom closet. I actually think the narrator is one of the best things in any game. It's honestly so funny. It's such,
Okay,
like,
let's see what this one says.
it's just really good delivery as
Well,
well.
the idea for the game is good. For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast.
Oh.
Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always would.
Noodle Chef.
I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Well, what you always have to think is that well, to use this as an example, the glowing 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 reviews were from professional critics who it's literally their job to analyse it from like a non-biased standpoint, whereas the Steam reviews, the pressurised gas reviews, are just random people's opinions. So they don't really matter.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
To be fair, I do have to do that, but that's just because I'm trying to do commentary as well.
Button.
If you're just playing through it, you can just listen.
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
And there it is. The skip button. And I was so disappointed to find out that there's obviously this whole wall back here where it looks like something could be there. There's nothing there, and there never is anything there. Is that... Oh, where's the world gone?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling.
So this is this is the gag of this bit, and it really does go on for a long time. I stopped and listened to it for too long the first time, because he just doesn't stop talking.
Go ahead and make me shut up.
And it's not just the first time you click it, it's every single time you click it, he just keeps talking and talking and talking. You can see there, that was 5 minutes. And he just keeps talking, he doesn't stop talking the more you press it. That was 10 minutes. It's kind of impressive, to be honest, because he doesn't... Wait, does he repeat himself? I think he did repeat himself at one point. And I recorded those episodes quite a while ago at this point, so I can't even remember.
Whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
I don't know if you can, actually.
I'm better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been...
So that was nearly an hour.
Longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Well, it was 20 past before, so it was 50 minutes.
By any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button.
That we press the button again?
The skip button has been aptly demonstrated.
I disagree. Okay, bye.
Stanley!
Oh, the door's gone.
Please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen.
It's been...
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but...
Oh, it has been. I was looking at the minute hand.
Longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Yeah, I see that.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
In 12 hours?
And there's no door, Stanley. There's
1,000 times in 12 hours?
Just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here.
Let's find out, shall we?
Oh, Stanley.
Oh, the lights are out. Well, that's creepy.
Oh, goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
can't see the clock.
A week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting.
Oh, the plant's dead.
Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always?
It kind of is, yeah.
Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just...
I suppose you're kind of talking about what I'm doing.
It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what
I can't. Once I push this button.
I'm realizing that I needed to know that
someone was listening to me press this button? can't see anything.
Hello,
button.
it's you. You're
Bolt
here
on.
again. Welcome.
Oh, we can see the clock now.
I have had time to think
And it
about
stopped.
you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Feels like it, with the Backstreet Boys reunion tour going on.
There is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt no.
Oh, I don't want to miss the opportunity to not press this button.
Longest.
Oh, he's gone. Mr. Narrator? Kevin? Ah, okay. Is that... Smoke alarm batteries run out? So that's what, like, 10 years they last? Between 7 and 10 years, roughly, generally. Let's skip that annoying sound.
But they didn't understand that it was never meant to be funny.
It's been stewing on that one.
It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the
He's been
unwillingness to
sat on
examine
that
with
for
an
10 years.
uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into.
More than? It's 10 years when we skip that, so if it roughly doubles every time. But, oh god, excuse me. It'll be 20 years beyond that, so that's 30 years in his time. That he's been sat on that one negative review.
The end is never the end is never the
Oh, that was literally me earlier this episode.
The end is never the end.
When it was loading. I don't even know if I included that, or if I will include that in the episode. Obviously, I haven't edited this episode yet. Is he gone in? So just keep going then. Oh. Why is it so windy? There is no outdoors. Oh, let's get. Is that kind of? Is that moss? Is that mossy? Oh, light. Light, freedom, get me out of this room. I've been here for like 100 years. Probably well over that at this point, probably a few hundred. Oh, life! The plant's back. The plant pot's gone though. Still can't get out. The narrator is gone. Everything's dead. Soil's still here though. You can kind of hear like distant wailing. No more wind now. But the whales have increased. The whales, not whales as in the animal, not whales as in the country. That kind of sounds like a distant metro, like an underground. Whoa, that messed with my brain. Jesus, try to turn around and it was at an angle. We have an escape. And the memory zone is gone. So the first thing I tried to do when I did this the first time, I tried to get on top of here, and I am so disappointed that there is an invisible wall and you can't. So I'm just going to wander off into the desert. Try and head for the hills. Be like in the film Holes. Find that fountain waterfall. I wonder what that building is made out of to have lasted for, well, outlived even the mountains that were surrounding the memory zone. The end is never, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never. I didn't even remember that he did that. That was purely just me messing about trying to fill the silence in the loading screens, and ended up predicting what the narrator would say. Any second now. What's gonna happen? Where are we? Hello? Oh. Sweet. I think we'll leave this episode here. I might have to replay through everything I just did. Well... What a way to end the episode off. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like for the return of the Stanley Parable. As I said before, I'm going to try and alternate between Stanley Parable and Pokemon. Just kind of keep both series going, keep everyone entertained and happy. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this episode, what you think of the Stanley Parable in general. And if you do leave a like, it really lets me know that people are enjoying the content. So please do it. Share it with your grandma. It's family friendly. You may as well. What do you have to lose? And subscribe if you want to see more. I've been Fox Lopez. You've been great. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.